Have you ever been interacting with your clients and then everything went so perfect because you have done the best thing you can ever do as a vendor, as a Catholic vendor, but then at the end of the day, they don't really feel happy about your work. In fact, they might have a so testimonial. Well, today I'm gonna tell you different ways to serve others to be a better Catholic vendor for others. Stay tuned at Griselda Portraits. Hi everyone, my name is Griselda. I'm a Catholic photographer for families and also wedding couples based in Edmonton, Canada. So today I'm going to talk about different ways for Catholic vendors to serve others. So I think a little bit of background to this. I think for myself, I experienced where I was in front of a camera and the photographer just being very directive to me, but at the same time, instead of feeling confident about the photo shoot, I did feel very confused, very uncertain about the results. I felt like I'm not being myself. So that was one of the reasons why I'm inspired to do this video. So, as mentioned, as promised, I'm going to give you 5 different ways for us, Catholic vendors, Catholic photographers, to serve clients better. So, the first one I have is pray to God. Well, obviously, I think that should be the first one we do. And by this, I mean, maybe it's a good idea for you to have your business patron saint, and you can choose from different holy saints that we have in the Catholic Church. For example, me myself, I prayed and I think that Saint Therese of Lisieux is good for my business patron saint, and I do pray for her intercession for my business. And the reason being is that I think I really like her little ways, and in the sense that the little things that we do actually can help grow us, but also grow other people to be close to God. And so that's one of the things I would like to recommend to you. The first thing is maybe consider praying for intercessions, but also pray to God about your business. I think that will be helpful for you, but also for your business in the long run. And also, I would like to mention there is an option where you can offer to your clients, for example, would you like me to pray for you? For example, especially for those who are planning big events such as birthday, maybe anniversaries, or also weddings for sure. So those are the kind of ways we can serve the clients better because we can support them spiritually. The second way that we can serve others better is that we can know more about our charisms. So me, I did a research about this one. I know that I am very artistic, but I just wanted to know what other charisms that I had, or I have, I should say. So I took some tests. So, for example, there is one from Saint Teresa of Avila Institute. The one I did take is from Many Parts Ministries. You can find them also on YouTube. And there are different kind of charisms. For example, from Many Parts of Ministries, they have 26 different 26 different charisms. And the reason why I mentioned this is one of the ways to help to serve better is because once you know or once you discern about your charisms, you can use it to your advantage. So, for example, if you are gifted in administration, then you would be pretty good at managing different projects, and that would be your forte, that would be your strength. Other person might be good in maybe handcrafts things, so maybe they would do stuff like decoration or maybe bringing props. If you are a photographer, you would bring creative stuff into your photo shoot because that is your strength, that is your charism. For me, for example, I'm good with writing, and so I really like writing about my clients on my blog, also writing about their photo shoot on my Instagram account. So I use my charism to my advantage in a sense. But also keep in mind that not everyone, although you might find someone with the same charism with you, doesn't mean that you both are kind of exactly the same. So what I'm trying to say is that we are different. Each of one of us are different, but we are one body. So in that sense, if you do feel you are uncomfortable with certain areas of your business, then you definitely can ask for others' help. So for example, if you're not good, let's say with finances, you can hire or you can ask help from accountants. Or maybe you're not good with social media, for example, you can ask help from other business owners who are dealing with marketing and social media. So that is the reason why I put that as a second, because I think that that's good in terms of keeping your business going, but knowing also your strength. And then the third thing I want to mention as one of the ways, or yes, one of the ways you can serve others better is talk about your faith. I think this would be really beautiful if you can do that. Especially if you're a small business owner, I think it's super important to relate to your clients. And in that sense, the way you interact on social media, for example, or even your website when you write blog posts, I think it's important to incorporate how you practice your faith, or maybe your values, something related to your values. So, in that sense, what I did, for example, I shared Bible quotes that I feel like really relate to the photo shoot. But I also mentioned different things such as devotion to Our Lady and different novenas, for example, because for me that is very important. And I also want to encourage my clients, especially my clients, that it is possible to share the faith, and also it is really important to to know that God is there for you, right? So that's why I think it's good to have a personalized content. And the other part of this, why I put it as a important thing to do, to talk about your faith, is because I think maybe some of us are thinking that niching down, so being very faith-based vendor could be challenging for them. Because I understand, because back then I also was challenged in a sense that some of my friends asked, does that mean that you only serve Catholics, for example? And then how does that look like in terms of business and profitability? So, my answer to that, I think, is that, well, niching down has some advantages actually. So instead of being jack of all trades, where you can offer everything, you can actually do the opposite strategy where you said, okay, I'm specific for weddings, for Catholic weddings or something like that. And then that makes you more focused. So you focus your energy into certain topic, I guess field as well. And then your clients, when they come in, they're not confused. For example, I will give you an example. If a client search on search engine that oh, I'm looking for a photographer for my when I'm pregnant and I want to have a maternity photo shoot. So they would find, for example, a photographer nearby, but then they see that this photographer does food photography, travel photography, maternity, yes, but other stuff too, astronomy photography, for example. In that sense, maybe that client wouldn't feel as comfortable, because they would think that they would actually wonder, okay, what kind of results would I get, in a sense. So I think it's good to also consider that maybe you want to niche down to a specific field, specific topic that might be useful for your business. My fourth way to serve others better, to make a difference as a Catholic vendor, is that to offer it up. So this is very important, and I'm still learning about it. So I learned that in every step, every move you make, it is important to discern, especially for me, because sometimes we do have initiatives, we have creative ideas. For example, in photography, you could have different photo sessions that you want to offer to people, even maybe different photography services. But I would recommend to discern it, to offer it to God. If it is God will, then it would happen perfectly. So that's actually one of the things I want to mention to you. So when things got rough, or it's challenging to get more clients, or maybe in general you just feel like it's impossible for you to move forward, then I think it's a good time, very good time, to return to God, to really give it up to Him, because I think, of course, God has the best plan. So He's gonna help you, of course. Like he's giving you the challenge, but also He's asking you to trust Him, to give it all to God. And there is actually a discernment reading. I think that was a study by Saint Ignatius of Loyola, and essentially the most important part, for me at least, is that when you discern, you don't lean to any options. You're just being very balanced. Imagine if you're in an equilibrium at the balance scale, so you don't lean towards any options. Same wise, or likewise, in this sense, you need to offer it up. So you really need to give it to God. No matter what He says, you do it. Now, the last thing I want to mention is, this is actually the core thing that I have in myself, is that you need to care about your clients, in a sense that, at least for me, at Griselda Portraits, I try to be genuine as much as I can. But I do it, I would say, maybe a little bit extreme in a sense. For example, just in daily lives, right? Maybe it's easy to pray for others whom we love. Of course, like, it's kind of makes sense, like, kind of like, yes, doable. But then when it comes to people who hurt us, for example, who offend us, maybe it's more difficult to think they deserve to be prayed, in a sense. So maybe simple example would be, for example, if you're driving, for example, if you are a vendor, you're driving towards the venue for the wedding, something like that, and then somebody just cuts you in the middle, or maybe they just have a bad driving in general. And then maybe the first thing you think of is, well, this person should just, I don't know, just disappear or something like that. But actually, that's not good. Instead, I would encourage you at that moment to try to maybe pray for that person, actually, because if he is doing a bad driving, he might need prayer, because you want to make sure that he's not injuring himself, like, making an accident or something. So that's one of the things I can give you as an example. For real life example, I would say, for myself, there are some times where in my photography business, I made mistakes. So there are moments where my clients didn't feel comfortable enough, because it could be because I was not being, I guess I didn't really understand what they expect out of me. So that was really a good learning lesson. So the other side of being really being genuinely caring about your clients, is that you also need to be humble. If you make mistakes, you need to learn from there and actually being humble. The good part of it, actually, I did have a 4 out of 5 kind of stars rating, and but I really learned my lessons there, and I reached out to these clients again, and they took another chance on me, and they loved the photo shoot, the next couple more. So I think that's one of the things that we need to do as a vendor. We need to serve other. I really encourage you to be humble, to pray to God, to discern all the list that I mentioned, all the 5 things I did mention. So I guess, as kind of a closing period, remember how I talk about being awkward in front of the camera, just because someone said, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and you just feel very awkward all of a sudden. Well, I think, to close, I think it's good if we think about, like, if you can imagine your future clients, they can smile, they can be joyful because of what you did, because how God used you as an instrument to make their day happy, right? So yes, I encourage you to have fun with your clients, but also care about them so much. You can always have fun, especially as photographers. You can tell them to dance, you can tell them to play with the kids. Bring that joy, always be genuine, and thank you. I'll see you again in the next episode.